Welcome everyone. Welcome to Pikama Stitches. So today we're going to be making this beautiful top. It's a very simple everyday DIY top. So let's get back into it. I'm using this beautiful Duchess fabric and I have my fabric folded into two. We're cutting both front and back together. There won't be any zipper. I'm using 2 yards of fabric. So let's get right into it. So from the folded edge here, that's where we're taking all our measurements from, okay? So from this folded part, I'm going to be taking the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement of my client is 16. So 16 divided by 2, that gives us 8 inches. And I'm going to mark it. We're going to be using a neck width of 3 inches for now, okay? And then we'll come down at this point by 1 inch and then we connect it. I'm going to be using freehand from all my markings today, okay? And you connect that. I hope you're seeing the markings, okay? So next we're going to be marking shoulder to bust point is 11 inches for her. We're not using on the bust, okay? It's a free top. Her shoulder to waist is 18 inches. And then the full length of the top is 25 inches. And I'm adding 1 inch for hemming allowance, okay? I'm going to be marking this again in order to get a straight line. 11 inches, 18 inches, 25 inches, 1 inch seam allowance, okay? Since I'm not using a ruler, I have to mark this again. Good. So I'll go ahead and connect all my lines, okay? So kindly work with the measurements of your client, your own measurement, if you're making it for yourself, okay? Please kindly like, okay? I see the views, but it doesn't rhyme with the likes. Please like, it encourages me a lot. Thank you. So we're going to be taking our armhole measurement. What I always do, the formula is bust round divided by 6 and you add 1.5 to that. So from the shoulder slope, hers will be 8 inches, but I'll just do 8.5 for her, okay? So meaning from the bust point, I'm coming up by 1.5 inches, okay? I want it to be that free. So I'm drawing that out. Then that becomes our chest line. At that chest line, I'm going to mark the same thing we marked on the shoulder in order to get a straight line, and then you connect it. We're going to get the midpoint of this, okay? At the midpoint, you're going to go in by 1/2 inch. In order to avoid gaping. Now her bust measurement, her bust is 39 divided by 4, that's 9.75. We're going to be marking 9.75. I'm using 1.5 inch. 1 inch is our sewing allowance. 1/2 inch is for ease. Then I'll connect this to this measurement here. Can you see that? Her waist measurement, her waist is for 33. 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. Okay, 8.25. I'm adding 1.5 inch, 1 inch sewing allowance, 1/2 inch for ease, and then I'll connect together. Then our hip measurement, our hip is 43 divided by 4 is 10.75. Okay, going to be marking 10.75 plus our 1.5 inch sewing allowance. And then we just connect it. Okay, please curve it well. Don't mind my drawing. Okay, so we're done with that. Okay, now at the hem part here, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches. That's from your sewing allowance line. Okay, I'm coming up by 2 inches, and then I'll connect it. There is no dot, just connect it back to the hemline. Okay, connect it back to the hem allowance. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, can you see this? You're connecting it back to the 1 inch sewing allowance, not to the main allowance. Okay, connect it to the 26 inches. That's the full length of the top. Connect it back to the full length of the top, and that's it. So for the neck width, since there's no zipper, I want it to pass through her neck freely. So I'm going to be using 4 inches for both front and back. But for the back neck depth, I'm going to be using 1 inch. For the front, I'm going to be using 6 inches. Then I'll connect this. Connect the back. Okay. Connect the back neckline, 1 inch. Connect the front neckline. I think I should do a V neckline. Okay. You can choose whatever neckline works for you. It's fine. I want it to be a V though. And then you connect it this way. I'm trying to take my time to get it right. Okay, I came down a bit from the 6 inches. I think what I have now is 7 inches. And then I'm going to add back half of an inch at the shoulder point here for joining the shoulder. The front and back armhole is going to be the same. I'm taking the same thing for both front and back. It's that simple. Okay, very easy. And then we're going to be cutting this out. I'm adjusting my pins. If you're working with Duchess fabric like what I'm using here, you need to pin and pin and pin. Okay, this fabric can be so funny. So pin, so your work can come out well. Okay, don't get tired of pinning. So we'll go ahead to cut this out. Please kindly like if you watched up to this point and you haven't liked, and you're having value. I know you are. I know. Please like, share, subscribe. God bless you as you do so. Okay, so we're starting with the back neckline. Okay, please ensure you're cutting off the back neckline first. Okay, both armholes are the same, so we're cutting at the length here. I'm not fast forwarding this because I want you to see what I'm doing here. We call this out. You can add half of an inch if you choose to. The hip, waist, cut out your armhole, and we're done. Can you see our top? Okay, so this is it for the top. Okay, I'm going to be measuring the length from the ½ inch we added. Can you see we have 26 inches. Okay, so now that we're done, I'm going to lift the first one is going to be our front neckline, and this other one is going to be the back neckline. So now we'll go ahead to cut out the neck for the front. Lift it gently, just the first one. Okay, and there you have it. Okay, and we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out facing. I'm using facing for this to turn everything out. So guys, I'm done cutting our facing. I didn't show you guys because I already have a tutorial on the channel on how to cut fabric facing, but I'll just show us what I did. I placed another fabric, okay, right, a fabric that is longer than the actual neck width, okay, neck length, sorry. What I have here from the center for the front is 4.5 inch, but at the shoulder for both of them I used 3 inches, okay, for the width. And then I cut the exact same neckline but extended the facing by 4.5. For the back I did the same thing, but the back length is 2.5, okay, 2.5, but the neck width is the same thing, 3 inches for both of them. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead to do now is to start joining them together. Okay, so what we'll do is this: we'll separate the front from the back. Okay, so these are front piece. Okay, you're going to open it up on the right side. Can you see our neckline? Keep the facing aside, and you're also going to bring the back piece, okay, lay them on each other, right sides facing each other, and you're going to join them at the shoulder, okay, with 1/2 inch. Okay, can you see this? Join them at the shoulder here with 1/2 inch, and then you're going to do the same thing to the facing. Join the facing separately, okay. Join the shoulders of the fabric separately, right sides facing each other. You're going to do the same thing for the facing, okay? I'm going to be joining it separately, right sides facing each other. But I'm going to be adding a little bit of interface to it, lightweight interface, okay? I'm going to be adding it to this. So when you're done joining this separately, you join this separately. I'll show us what next to do. Guys, I'm done with adding my stay, and I've joined the shoulders. Can you see this? I ironed it out, okay. Okay, can you see this closely? This is the shoulder joining. I joined by 1/2 inch. When you're done joining, open up the seam and press it. This is the main fabric. I've done the same thing. Open up your seam and iron it flat. Now you're going to lay everything out. This is the right side of the fabric, okay. You're going to bring in your facing, okay, and you're going to lay it right side facing right side, okay. This is where you work with your pins, okay. As a tailor, always have your pins close by. So what we're going to do is this: first we're going to align the shoulder seams, okay. Make sure they are well aligned, okay. You pin them up, align at this part, ensure they align so your work can come out neat, okay. And then you pin it up. Beautiful. So after that, if you did a good job, everything will relax so well, okay. You can decide to pin round the neckline to the front neckline, or you can just take it to your sewing machine, okay. Since I've pinned down the shoulder, I'm going to start from one shoulder. I'm joining with 1/2 inch. I'll sew round to the front neckline back to that point, and I'm going to top stitch it on it, okay. While top stitching, push everything towards the lining and top stitch. And then after that, you shape the sides, okay. We added 1.5 inch sewing allowance. 1/2 inch was our ease, so I'm going to be joining the sides with 1 inch. Then we'll come back to fix the sleeve. Let me quickly turn the neckline. When you're done sewing it and top stitching, you flip everything to the wrong side and give it a good press before you shape the sides. So let me quickly, we're done with our neckline. I'm going to go ahead and give this a good press much later. So what we'll do now is to measure our armhole round, okay. From the shoulder joining, you measure round what you have. So I have here 10.75, roughly 11 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and fold my fabric we're going to be cutting out a flare. Okay, it's a flayed sleeve. So this is all I have. You're going to fold it into two and fold it into two equal halves. After folding it into two, you fold it this way. Okay, that's into four, and then you fold it again. I turned it so I can see this mark point. Okay, and then I fold it again. So we're going to be cutting out the two sleeves together. Okay, so make sure everything is well aligned. If you don't understand, kindly watch again so you can get what I just did here. So once we're done with our fold, you're going to divide your round armhole. I had roughly 11 inches, so round the armhole, that was for one side, round will be 22 inches round. So we're going to divide 22 inches by 6.28. That's the formula for a full 360-degree flare, and we're making a 360-degree flare for this sleeve. So I have 3.5 from the corner here. I'm just going to be marking 3.5 inches round. So whatever you have for your round sleeve, fold your fabric this way, the way I just showed you. If you didn't get it, just watch it all over again, you will understand. And then divide it by 6.28. That's the formula. And then you mark it round. You connect it. Okay. After that, you're going to be marking the length of our sleeve. So I'm using everything. What I have here is 7.2. I'm just going to mark 7.2 inches round. That's what I have here. So if you have enough fabric, you can actually do more. Okay, if you have enough fabric, you can do more, but this is what I have left. Okay, so you mark round 7.2, 7.2, follow the first circle, 7.2, 7.2. So that's what you're going to be marking round. So you mark 7.2 round and then you connect it. Your 7.2, you're marking it, whatever you have, you're marking from the 3.5 initial line you made. Okay, and then you go ahead and cut. If it's too thick for you to cut round, you can cut it in bits. Okay, please kindly like and share. Cut it out. Okay, so when we open this up, this is what we have. Can you see this? So you're going to be having two because of the way we folded it. So one will be for one sleeve, one will be for the other sleeve. If you want to open it up, you can open up on one side. Okay, but I want mine to be full. So you're going to align it. These are sleeve round. You're going to bring it in. If you measured it accurately, everything will just align. But in case you have any excess, just split it in a bit. And then you're going to pin it round your sleeve. Okay, pin it round your sleeve. If there's any excess, just trim it out. Pin it and sew round the both sleeve. This one will be for the other sleeve. I'm going to attach this and then hem the lower part. I intend weaving mine, and that's the end of the tutorial. I'll quickly do that and I'll show us what we have. Guys, I hope you've liked. Please like and share. This is the end result of our beautiful top. Can you see the neckline? Now I'm going to put my hemming gum here and then I'll iron this so it can lay flat. Can you see our sleeves? I've weaved this out, okay? Can you see the hem part? I haven't ironed this out yet, okay? I sewed in with very quarter of an inch. Can you see this? This is the back. Can you see this looking so beautiful? Can you see the sleeve falling out so neatly? Can you see this? So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you guys again in our next tutorial. And this is the inside. I want to show you guys the finishing. So neat, so nice. Okay, let your work always be neat and nice. Can you see the inside? Can you see the neckline? This is the beauty. Okay, can you see the neckline? I'm just going to use my hemming gun to hold it in place. The sleeve, the hem part. Thank you so much. Please kindly like, share, subscribe, and follow for more. Till I see you guys next time, Pikama Stitches here.